Hello guys, welcome to NX with your new video and welcome to 2025. So happy new year 2025. This is our first video in 2025. So it's been a while since we update a new video, but the reason behind it you might see in the chart that we gave you this date, which is the 16th of December 2024. 16th of December 2024 was the date that we mentioned that the cycle, the 6 month cycle, that we managed to find out that Bitcoin repeats all the time. There is a pattern every 6 months. So measure market movement on the weekly chart. And if you look at the weekly chart, you can see that if it's a good time for you to invest, if it's a good time for you to take profit, and what is the bigger picture saying about what is going to happen to the market. So I remember we update you on this downward channel. We were breaking this downward channel, confirming and pushing higher, and we gave you this date, the 16th of December, as the date where at least the 6 month interval that Bitcoin was moving inside would finish. So you can see that the week starting on the 16th of December 2024 was when Bitcoin actually temporarily topped around our target, which is 110. We didn't touch this level, but we were really close to this level, meaning this candle went as high as $108,388. So we were not wrong calling this date as the date where Bitcoin would finish this 6 month pattern. So it was a very positive call. You can see breaking this channel to the upside and temporarily topping at 108 or 109,000 was around 57-58%. So yes, we were really spot on in trying to tell you that something big would happen, and now we need to see or to assess where Bitcoin is, Bitcoin is going to do next. So basically the next 6 months that just started on this date, 16 December, looking forward to June 2025. So our plan for 2025 is basically trying to predict what Bitcoin is going to do for the next 6 months. In my opinion, this means looking to protect our 77,000 level. So 77,000 level took us a very long time to tap into this territory. We were projected near that level, and we finally broke it to the upside, found resistance on our next Fibonacci level, which is 110, and is currently consolidating or add a temporary top at this level, or basically just getting rejected at 110. We couldn't surpass or tap into 110 properly, so now we're getting rejected and trying to consolidate and see what's going to happen next. So in my opinion, that means that we were struggling with this, the middle of this channel, got rejected, pushed, tried to hold the support, and currently we are below this level. So for the third week in a row, which means Bitcoin looks weak, looks a little bit weak, for the last 2 weeks, and that's why we can see the DXY managed to gain some strength, and on the other hand is holding the middle of its upward channel as support for the third week in a row, which means Bitcoin is currently consolidating. This is not a market top. This is not a bull market top. We keep seeing that based on our analysis, based on the DXY turning red on the super gap indicator. We don't have any red, which means we are not actually in any acceleration mode at the moment. We didn't tap into the acceleration mode simply because we are not red in the super gap indicator on the DXY. So without red, we cannot call acceleration process. We cannot call market top is nearing anytime soon, unless we have this condition to call it acceleration and potential market top. So for that reason, I believe that for the next 6 months in 2025, the first 6 months, Bitcoin will have to fight to protect our 77,000 level, which means we cannot roll down, get rejected, and start closing weekly candle below the 77,000 level. What we can do is try to probably can get a week toward this area, a very quick week, and then uh, a huge push to the upside, and just to flash, all the excitement that was in the market when we had the fear and greed index above 80s and 90s. So, which means now we are actually consolidating, and if we got rejected at 110, we must look to protect our 77,000 level. It could be a very long and tiring market movement. It could be a very violent move to the upside and quick recover to the upside, or a very violent move to the downside and quick recover to the upside. Anything is possible. The only thing Bitcoin is going to have to do for the next 6 months is to protect our 77,000 level and try to break the 110 level to the upside once and for all, which means basically being able to close candle firmly above the middle of this upward channel. Our DXY Bitcoin ratio, you can see for that reason, because we got rejected at 110, we can see that the RSI it wasn't able to break the 30 level to the downside, which was what we were expecting. Breaking this level to the downside would mean that we are entering in the acceleration mode, and the Bitcoin would be able to push above 110 and hold it as support. The simple reason why we can't do that is because the other side is already showing that we failed to do that, and we're gonna have to find support somewhere around between our 77,000 level, the range between our 77,000 level and uh, the 110 level. So basically, we're gonna have to find support somewhere above 77,000 level and push upwards. And pushing upwards, you can see that Bitcoin is currently at 95,000, and we have this downward trend line where we call buy the dip. As you may already know, if you watch our videos update, we can see that we are very close to this level where we say buy the dip level. So we might have Bitcoin, just consolidating above our 77,000 level, and the RSI will have to protect this downward trend line. So basically, we might bounce around this level and then um, finally break the 30 level to the downside towards our 1862 level, where the RSI will turn green, and this will help Bitcoin push and hold support above 110 level. So for that reason, you can see the RSI, the ratio is kind of moving sideways now, basically consolidating. One thing that we would like to tell you is that we noticed that the 50-week moving average is trying to tell us something it did in the past, and maybe it's trying to tell us something at the moment. And if you see, we can just show you very quickly that every time we break we create a new all-time high. In this case, we create a new all-time high, and the ratio start pushing toward this channel and gets inside this channel. We can see that the 50-week moving average, after breaking this Fibonacci level where the previous all-time high was, when the 50-week moving average touched this level, is already signaling that we are nearing the top. We are nearing the top. But in this case, after touching this level, the ratio was already inside this channel. Yeah. And if we come back to this 2020 bull market, we can see that the 50-week moving average broke or touched this Fibonacci level where the previous all-time high was. You can see touching this level was precisely at the bull market top. But of course, once again, the 50-week moving average touched or broke this Fibonacci level when, of course, the ratio was already fully inside this downward channel. So 1, 2. What is happening at the moment is something that we can say it never happened based on this chart, but it could be signaling that either Bitcoin is going to consolidate around or above our 77,000 level, in between the 77,000 level and 95, 96,000 for a while until it makes the decision. But the decision is very close because we can see that the ratio already broke the previous all-time high. Yeah, broke the previous all-time high. The 50-week moving average is already touching the Fibonacci level of all-time high, and but the ratio is not inside. You can see that the ratio is not inside. Sorry about that. You can see that the ratio is not inside. The ratio is still not inside. You can see the ratio is still not inside this downward channel. So in two previous occasions, we had the ratio inside the downward channel, and we had the 50-week moving average finally breaking this Fibonacci level. For us now, we have this 50-week moving average touching this level already. The ratio is nowhere near our downward channel, but on the other hand, we have this RSI very close to the buy the dip level. To me, it means that we are very close to have a very explosive move to the downside. If the RSI breaks this level to the this downward trend line to the upside and start closing uh, above it or above the 50 level, of course, we have to consider that Bitcoin is going down uh, much further. Otherwise, we can assume that this level that we are currently at the moment, that we are only at the moment, 94, 95,000, could be a level where Bitcoin could have an explosion to the upside if we respect this downward trend line. The other side respect this downward trend line, meaning touching this level, any violent move to the downside to retest our 77,000 level, like we mentioned, any violent move to the downside to retest this level or getting closer to this 77,000 level and pushing high could mean a reversal move to the upside, an explosive reversal move to the upside, uh, which means that at this level, if Bitcoin is around 78, 79,000 level, this could be a level to buy the dip and wait for a fast move to the upside. Uh, to me, this would, of course, if we retest 77,000 level or bounce from where we are at the moment to the upside, this means the other side would respect this line and would have a very explosive move from the ratio, which would put the ratio close or inside this channel as it it does all in every bull market. So we have a very explosive move. Bitcoin is above 90,000, but we still nowhere near inside our channel, downward channel, which marks the acceleration process and the top potential top for the bull for Bitcoin. So that means that we're gonna have a very explosive move to the upside or to the downside in the following this week or the following weeks. We're gonna have to have this move to the upside, or we're gonna have this move. We're gonna have to have this move during the next 6 months. So that's why we think that only paying attention what Bitcoin is gonna do next for the next 6 months is very important. And if we look at the fear and greed index, we can see that the fear went as low as 64, which means we broke these 74, 74, 75, 74 support level. We used to work as support. We broke this level to the downside, and that means there's a lot more fear in the market. And we can see yesterday was 66, but we are trying to recover a little bit. You know, now we already in greed 70. Of course, 70 is not enough. After dipping as low as 64, 66, we need fear above 74 to have the right move sentiment in the market. Otherwise, we're gonna have to have a little bit more fear that would put Bitcoin basically would put fear around 60 or 50, 50, 54, which is a level that would represent neutral. So that means the market would be neutral, and if not fearful. And if we find Bitcoin around or very close to our 77,000 level, that would mean a very good opportunity to buy the dip. Why we have another evidence that can show you, can confirm this theory, which means every time Bitcoin is doing this curvature, since we find the bottom and broke above this downward channel, we can see every time Bitcoin does this curvature, it usually retraces about around 20%. You can see 20%, 21%. Another curvature at the top, you can see is 21%. Another curvature, around 20%. The only bigger one, the bigger one was this one, which was around 32%. But if you discount the weeks, we can see around again 20 something percent, 25%. So if we look at this curvature and measure measure where it's putting us, we are now around 15%. We can say if we add another 5% to 21%, that would put Bitcoin around 85,000 dollars. And $85,000 to $77,000 is not that far. We could have a very fast week to the downside around 85 to $87,000 and still be okay. That would represent a 21% correction. So that would be where we could expect to actually buy the dip. A move like this would put definitely make this RSI touch this line, this downward trend line, which mean buy the dip opportunity, and of course, would put fear far below the 60, around probably around 50% or 54, 60%, which would be like fear and neutral territory, and that would represent an opportunity to actually buy the dip, simply because we are not having any information regarding tops, because our DXY is not red, DXY is still green in this case, which means green is accumulation process, is accumulation phase. We could have a 20% correction, we could have a 32% correction and still be fine. That would represent an opportunity to buy Bitcoins on the lows, and of course wait for when we tap into the red on the super gap indicator when it comes to DXY. So we don't have this evidence. We don't have any evidence that Bitcoin is stopping. We have evidence that Bitcoin is consolidating. Could have a 20%. You already have a 15% drop. Could have another 5 to 7%. That doesn't mean anything. The only thing we need to do for the next 6 months is to hold this level no matter what, hold the 77,000 level. Either a quick move to the downside or slow move to the downside, it doesn't matter. The only thing that we need to know is whether we're going to be accumulating more during this period or taking profit during this period. In my opinion, the best time to take profit would be around 110 on the 16th of December, that particular week, 2 weeks ago. For now, it's just waiting for the opportunity to buy Bitcoins on the low and hold it until we have further evidence, or we have any evidence that Bitcoin is about to top. And for us to top means at the top of this upward channel, of course. Until then, we keep uh, telling you guys to buy on the dip, hold it, and try to sell on our at higher levels. So that's the update for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, consider leaving a like, and happy new year to all of you, and keep coming back for more, because we're gonna have a lot more to offer you in 2025. Let's go.